Sometimes you decide to throw your SP1, which I do here. Right. Welcome back to the channel. All right, that's right. This is time for the last war video of season 35. I was definitely on this trip. I believe I was in like Cabo San Lucas. The highlight of this one for me is definitely going to be, I got the assignment, Node 26 against a Void. I was really worried it was going to be a rank 4, and it is. And I was like, I really don't know how I'm going to do this fight. We'll talk about the strategy when we get to it. But it was absolutely genius strategy from my boy Karate Mike, my alliance mates there for Loki, and I truly mean it when I say, like, I did not think Shang Chi could take this fight. I'm so excited to show it to you. Now, we have 4 full fights there. I think they're all worth showing. You've seen a lot of Spiderman 99 on my channel, but I continue to try to get the word out on him, talk about him, and there's something very specific that I'm trying to get the word out because I think people realize how good he is. Right, we're going up against his combat deja vu prowess and spiked armor. Those really aren't going to matter very much if I don't intend to actually hit Miles anywhere else than beside his block. So we're going to walk this through, and here's the mistake I see a lot of Spiderman 99 in war, essentially, or specifically the mistake I see, and I used to make this mistake a lot, and sometimes it can actually happen, I can understand, is you kind of forget to pause your wither and all your debuffs. Right, you're hitting into the block. The wither is a big deal for a variety of reasons. One, it's got that ability power rate control for you, but it's also, remember, it's what's allowing your hits into the block to have the 100% chance to put up the rupture. You really want to make sure you're taking the time to pause it. It can get very easy to forget about it. You're so concentrated on hitting into the block. We'll talk about it more in the 2 fights after the Shang Chi fight, and I want to show you, you can lose the wither and it'll be okay. It'll be okay. In a lot of fights, it'll be okay. Maybe not all of them, but we'll get there when it's time. Keep that in mind if you're really interested in the Miguel strategy, how to play him. Because like I said, it is a mistake I see quite a bit. Now, moving on, Node 26, rank 4 Void. We've got window of opportunity stun, right? Now, the strategy I'm going to be given is going to really highlight the unblockable. And that's great. It takes a lot of relief off the stress of not knowing if and when you're going to be able to stun this Void, right? The way you set your Wushu charges there is with the SP2 or with stunning. And if you can't stun, or you don't know if you're going to be able to stun, that can really start to create some problems. We've also got this, and this was, I'll admit, this was pretty scary. Blood in the water. So while the attacker suffers from a debuff, the defender gains a passive fury, granting 150% attack. That's pretty large. It's not as big as some of the other nodes on the map, but that is not small. Fortunately, Shang-Chi can cleanse active debuffs. Then we've got this defective defense, blocking attacks, 100% chance to apply a disorient debuff. That's from just basically blocking. So even just the idea of, well, I can't stun, but how am I going to create openings? I'm gonna bait heavies by blocking. That's not going to work out really well for you here. Also, the passive heal box. So making me a little bit worried about running the recoil tree masteries, because what if I can't create that opening to get my cleanse off? So the whole strategy here, and you're going to see this, we'll talk about it as you see the boost. Boosted large. I don't often even like power back boosts with Shang-Chi. I feel like they're almost like a bit of a waste because you use up all of your chi charges when you throw your SP2, meaning that second SP2 is not going to hit nearly as hard. But we use that, we're starting off with the advanced power boost. Now I'm going to emphasize the unblockable, using that so that I can build to my SP2 as quickly as possible. But you're seeing, it just didn't work out perfectly. So now I've got to figure out how I'm going to create this opening. Now, the window of opportunity stun is down. So I could stun Void, and I want to take advantage of that. And you'll see me take advantage of it at some point in the fight. Right here, I'm feeling very comfortable with it. I've landed my, my stunning strike, can't think of exactly what it's called. Bait this SP2, gonna go in and throw my SP2. Does significant amount of damage. Right here, I was no longer worried at all. Saw how beautifully this plan would work. Go unblockable, really could have thrown my SP2 right there. I don't know why I didn't, baited that heavy, he went into it, interrupted. Shang-Chi just absolutely dismantles that. Remember, that was a rank 4 Void. These aren't massive health pools, right? Like we'll see in some of our longer story content or larger Everest type content. But that was a rank 4 Void on a very, very difficult node. Not the way I'm used to playing Shang-Chi. He was the first rank 4 I ever had. And I got out the video saying, like, don't be concerned about a very specific rotation. Learn his strikes and how to utilize them. You're going to be okay. And even me, who's had him at rank 4 for as long as possible, still learning new things about Shang Chi. Thank you for the strategy. I'm really excited to show that out to you. And so cool for me. I really think his value is just, if it's not increasing, which I think it might be, is at least staying very, very steady in this game. Power back boosts, I think were very helpful there. I would use them again in war. I don't think it was essential. You could have continued to use the same strategy. Would have got that fight down just fine there. All right. Now, we started this off with a little Miguel talk. And I was telling you that one of the biggest issues I see from folks is, and what happened to me too, right? Is you kind of almost forget to pause your wither, even though you know how important that is. And it's a different play style, right? Like we usually want a 5-hit combo, these sorts of things. But we're seeing champions, MCoC, Valkyrie, who's incredibly new, even Hulkling, where hitting into the block is a really big part of the strategy. And it's been helpful to me because what, 4, 5, 6 seasons ago, I was starting to learn that and incorporating that into what I guess we'd call our traditional gameplay of MCoC. But right here, I'm gonna do everything I can to not lose this wither. You see it gives me the 100% chance to get the rupture. And then every time I push her over a bar of power, we get the explosion like right there. I mean, that is significant damage in a war fight, considering I have landed what, at the time, probably 3 to 4 hits, if that. So here we go. She now has her sync shield or whatever. You know, she needs both of those charges to do her auto block. She's been on this node so much, and I've been having a rank 4 Miguel 6200 for a very long time. I just got so used to fighting Penny thanks to this node and just kind of having to do it, experience. And there you go. So we've knocked down her shield. We're able to just hit into her regularly. Spiderman 99. Amazing, amazing. I think general champion, but definitely in war. Now, we're going to take a look at it. I talked about it earlier. Sometimes, though, your wither falls off. Sometimes you decide to throw your SP1, which I do here. I'm not sure I would necessarily recommend that outside of fights like we're seeing, you know, like a Thing boss fight, where you're really trying to up the amount of damage that your ruptures are doing. The SP1 has that nice debuff. I think it's like a physical vulnerability or something like that that can do that for you. But this is a tough node. We've got aspect of evolution, we've got kinetic transference. Obviously, we're a little bit concerned about the ability power rate here. So the whole idea is I'm still going to hit the block. You're still going to see that. I do want to pause my wither. I got an intercept there. That's one thing that can also happen with Miguel. You accidentally sometimes get intercepts when you really were intending to hit the block. I know that's what happened to me there. And so I'm like, okay, I'm a little farther down in the timeline of my wither than I would like. If I can, that was an accidental parry. I recall that. And so I had to kind of adjust here because really it's when Mothros is SP1 that you can reliably heavy counter it and knock him down. So I decided to go ahead and throw my SP1 here. I had 100% health, 100% health, basically more or less. He's already pretty far down. I threw my SP1 to get that physical vulnerability up. And then I'm gonna do my best to keep wither up, but I'm not gonna freak out if I lose it. Remember, Miguel doesn't gain, he's immune to buffs anyway, so I don't really have to worry about Mystic Dispersion. Just kind of watch how the rest of this plays out. There we go. He threw the heavy, so I got the chance to interrupt it, knock him down. That stops his persuasion, I believe it is called. So I don't need to worry about the falter mechanic too much. You can see we're doing plenty of damage. I'm not really worried about getting my wither back at this point. I'm going to knock him down again after his SP1. Remember, that's when it's really reliable to punish, and we're doing plenty of damage, as you see. Ma doesn't have a massive health pool. I was very comfortable with where the fight was in that moment, letting the wither fall off. And then there are other ways of doing damage for Spider-Man 99. It's just so often that's the best way, right? Hitting into the block, making sure you keep up the wither. So I'm not saying, hey, great idea, let the wither fall off. I'm just letting you know there's other avenues of doing damage. You often don't need to freak out if it does fall off. If I felt it was essential to get it back up, I would have waited, gotten to my SP2, used it, applied it, and then just kind of reset the fight from there. Hope you really enjoyed the Shang Chi. For Loki, I'm sure you've seen, I think Legacy put it in a video, and I'm sure Mike's talked about it, I would imagine anyway. We're not going to be pushing for season 36. It's kind of does suck, right? We've been over the whole loyalty thing. I did a Twitter post and a community post on YouTube about it. I'm not excited. I'm not happy. I'm happy for the game. I'm happy for a lot of players not playing in tier 1 and tier 2. That's awesome. That's great. I'm excited for the following season. It sounds like we'll get an award update, and it'll really make a lot of sense to push again because I do love it. I love war, as you know. I hope you enjoyed this next video. If something, or this last video I did, if something cool happens in War 36 season, I will definitely get it out, but I'm not gonna push it. And then when 37 comes up, we'll get right back to those war videos. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about Shang Chi there, Spiderman 99, if it answered any questions for you, or if you have any others. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.